Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to CATEX TV. It's being reported that American International Group is the primary cyber insurer for the U.S. healthcare insurer Anthem, which has reportedly suffered a massive data breach affecting about 80 million customers and employees nationwide. Anthem has $10 million in primary cyber coverage. This is above a $10 million self-retention with the Lexington Insurance Company, which is a subsidiary of AIG. It's also being reported that Anthem may have up to $200 million in cyber coverage above that $20 million limit in excess layers. It's also indicated that probably Lloyd's Syndicates, Liberty Mutual, CNA, and Zurich might be involved in having placed that coverage. It's reported that Willis North America actually was the broker of record. Australian insurer Suncorp, which is the second biggest insurer in Australia, is investigating a, quote, potential issue with its reinsurance program, which could lead to a $118 million Australian impact on its recoveries. In a statement accompanying its half-year results, Suncorp said it had been advised of the issue on the 9th of February and that it considered it to be, quote, contrary to Suncorp Group's understanding of its additional reinsurance purchases made in 2011. The technical concern relates to the placement of reinsurance after the combination of the September 2010 Christchurch earthquake and the Brisbane floods. So this means that they did not quite understand the policy that they purchased, or at least there's going to be a little bit of a fight about it. Suncorp also announced that their insurance division reported an 11% fall in profits despite the release of about $214 million in claims reserves. Well, later on this evening in Brussels, a meeting is going to occur. Oh, it's going to be quite a confab. It's going to have the Greeks, it's going to have the European Union, the European Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, and the European Commission present to discuss the pending clash between primarily Germany and the Greece government. The newly elected Greek government wants to end the austerity plan that's been imposed upon it in exchange for them borrowing $270 billion from the EU. The Germans have said that they're not willing to rewrite the debt. They may rewrite the agreement, but they're not writing the debt down. Greece's public debt right now stands at about 175% of its GDP. Also, as of this morning, the Greek government bonds were selling at an interest rate of 22%, meaning that people are not that interested in buying Greek debt. Here's an interesting story. There's a 14,400-foot sea bridge. It's about 3 miles on a highway going from the airport in Incheon to Seoul, South Korea. In foggy conditions and icy conditions this morning, there was a 106-car pileup on the bridge. 2 people were killed, about 68 people were injured. The United States National Counterterrorism Center is reporting that foreign fighters are streaming into Syria and Iraq in unprecedented numbers to join ISIS. There's at least 3,400 of them from Western nations and about 20,000 others from around the globe. The chief of the Counterterrorism Center said that the rate of foreign fighter travel to Syria is without precedent, so far exceeding the rate of foreigners who went to wage jihad in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Yemen, or Somalia at any other point in the past 20 years. That's a bad thing, but you can look at it as a good thing. All of these very nasty people are in one place at the same time. Stephen Catlin has made a 3-year hard commitment to his prospective role at the new company XL Catlin, and he's also made a soft commitment to an additional 2 years. He said, I fully intend, God willing, to be actively involved in XL Catlin for the foreseeable future, and I have every intention of doing at least 5 years in this current role. He's going to be named the executive deputy chairman. Catlin, of course, has sold his company in a $4.2 billion deal to XL. He also spoke a little bit about industry consolidation. He said, there's nothing that I can do personally to stop it happening. There's nothing that XL CEO Mike McGavitt could do to have it stop happening. He also issued a stark warning to others who may try to avoid consolidation by saying there are some people who are going to die on the vine because they're going to get too small. They won't be able to cover their expenses and they'll cease to be relevant. He also was very critical of syndicates at Lloyd's that don't look to lead a large proportion of their business, explaining that a lot of other syndicates are, quote, living off the hard work of other people. Catlin leads on about 2/3 of the business it writes through its syndicate at Lloyd's, which is number 2003. Catlin said, if you want to be a dumb follower, that's fine. Is there a future for a dumb follower? I don't know. At least 300 migrants are feared dead after boats carrying them from North Africa, from Libya actually, sank in the Mediterranean Sea, several miles short of the Italian island of Lampedusa. This is one of the biggest drownings of late as migrants continue to try to get to Italy to get into the EU. And here's an interesting story. Taiwan's aviation authority today ordered the suspension of 10 pilots from TransAsia Airways who failed a proficiency test given after one of the airline's planes crashed in Taiwan last week, killing 42 people. The 10 suspended were among 49 pilots who underwent an oral exam on handling emergency situations that was administered after the February 4th crash. They need to be retrained. The Taiwanese government said 19 additional pilots who have not taken the test will also be suspended until they pass. Keep in mind that the ATR-72, which went down, had a situation where the two-engine plane lost power in one of its engines, and the engine went into the idle mode. The pilots then proceeded to switch off the operating engine, leaving the plane with no power. The plane was at an altitude of 800 feet. It takes 45 seconds to restart both engines in mid-air flight. The plane was doomed. Presumably, the question that was asked in the oral exam was, if you are at a low altitude and lose power in one engine, do you shut down the operating engine? Preposterously, it seems that at least 19 of these people answered yes. Stay off AirAsia Airlines, or TransAsia Airlines, TransAsia Airlines. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.